How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new Summer 2017 First Impressions. And for today's segment, guys, I'm going to be talking about is Classroom of the Elite, Episode 1 through Episode 6, folks. Ooh, man. But I'm going to keep it short and simple, guys, because there really is a lot to talk about within each and every single episode. But this is my first impressions after binge watching the first 6 episodes. And honestly, I have to say, I have to give this anime definitely a worth watch. It's like specific anime, because the way that this anime is definitely a dramatic anime in terms of slice of life. And honestly, the dialogue between each and every one of the characters is it does get a little boring, because after a while you're just like, there's no shonen cliche battles, no fantasy, no out of this world character gets drawn, no magical powers, none of that, guys. This is literally a slice of life where teenagers are literally set forth, and we could say they're kind of enrolled in a school where they're actually, you could say, technically fighting for their lives or for their futures, because they're basing their grades on a point system where they have to basically kind of make it to the top in order to get, a good career, etc., etc. And you're looking at this like, okay, this is pretty interesting. Then later, as the episodes continue, you start noticing that, if they don't have a certain amount of points based on the points that's actually made there, then the students get dropped out of the school. And then you're thinking like, whoa, they didn't really mention that to the students, because the way that the homeroom teacher was kind of explaining is more or less that, like, you could do whatever you want. I mean, common sense would really dictate that it's like, okay, no, there's something fishy going on if you really can do whatever you want at a certain school, a prestigious school, if I might not add. And it's very hilarious, because you start noticing the change of shift that the actual anime then continues going forward, because then we got the main character, Ayano Koji. This guy is definitely a very smart aleck boy who definitely seems very lazy at first, but as the episodes continue from episode 1 to episode 6, no, this guy, he looks like there's a lot more to this character than meets the eye. You kind of notice that this character, it seems like he had like a rough past, and it seems that he doesn't really want to talk about it. It seems that it looks like it was kind of proud, due to episode 6. It seems that, like, he does not like nobody prying into his actual social life, or at least his past life, that it kind of makes you think like, whoa, what did this kid go under? But at the same time, he seems a little more sturdy. He looks like he's a fragile boy, but no, he really isn't. As I mean, we got the main female lead, Horikita, who actually is a very, very studious person, very independent, not really very sociable. She's a little awkward when it comes to actually talking to people, because she does come up very abrasive and very stern, but that's because of her attitude in terms of like how she wants to make it to the top, in terms of how she sees herself in the class. She does not want to see herself in this specific kind of class, because the classroom that they're in, all the main characters, they're in class D, and a lot of people that are kind of witnessing that, they're kind of basically like the scumbags, the lowest low of every single class. And you're thinking like, okay, Horikita, this main female lead, she wants to catch up, she wants to be on class A. I mean, everybody else does too, but Horikita actually has goals, and she's actually very stern in reaching that goals, unlike a lot of the other characters that are kind of a little more relaxed in terms of studying and getting what they want. It's very interesting to see how each of the characters' dynamics go towards, because Horikita and Ayano Koji, both these characters, like, they may be a little contrasting in terms of how Ayano Koji is more, like you say, he's a little more relaxed, but he's very flexible in terms of dealing with every situation that kind of arises with him. Excuse me. And Horikita, wow, like, she could be a leader when a push comes to shove, but just because, like I said, it's just that stern attitude, it does kind of also, it kind of becomes her weakness, you can kind of say, because it kind of deflects everybody saying like, oh, she's a very mean girl. Not really. If you meet this kind of person in real life, it just shows that, she actually has a little bit of brains behind her back. It just goes to show that, maybe the person that's talking to her should have a little bit more spine to them in terms of having the silver tongue. But we gotta move on, guys. There's another main character called Kushida, who actually, we start noticing that she's very completely different from Horikita. You could say she's another main female lead, but in terms of her, it seems that this girl, no, there's something going on with her. I was actually kind of more interested in this character because nobody can be this specifically happy. And as the episodes actually continue on, folks, OMG, this girl actually has some serious problems. It seems like she has like a facade of some sort going on with that you're looking at like, oh, like, okay, this girl, she's hiding it for a specific reason, and she hates Horikita even though it looks like she actually likes her. Trust me, guys, this girl, like, it looks like she's out to get Horikita. Trust me, like, just the way it seems, Kushida seems like a Sandire type of girl because the way that Ayano Koji actually found her. No, man, he even smelled the minute he saw it. He's like, oh no, I sense a very disturbance in the force with this specific gal. But like I said, though, like, the episodes were definitely interesting. The first couple episodes, they kind of focused more heavily on how the point system was kind of working, how people have to work hard. But then later on, as the episodes continue on, you kind of notice that then there's a little bit of more plot device, and it seems that a lot of the other classrooms, they're actually out to get each other, and they want that, they don't want to fall behind, as we actually get a little mini story plot in terms of, I think it was Class C and Class D, and some basketball player who apparently has like a very you could say a rude attitude, but he got set up by some other people, and I'm assuming it's some of these top tier students, because I don't know like what their end goal is. Like, to me it seems like they want to cause turmoil within the smaller section of the students. But it was very interesting because they go to trial and everything. And it's very interesting because, during that trial, you're kind of wondering, like, wow, how are they going to, get evidence? How are they going to actually go about with this situation? Because, this also reflects the students on themselves. Because remember, this is all based on points, and, but everything that they do will reflect back on them. Like I said, it's very interesting how this anime is actually going about. It's very, I wouldn't say it's dark, it's more like, it's the way that the students are in a predicament, that it's giving them like a little bit of thriller action going on. It's more of a dialogue-esque kind of themes going on around the episodes themselves. Like I said, there really isn't any fighting. I mean the part with the trial in itself, that was a little bit like a little bit of fights in there, but other than that, the anime is heavily focused on the dialogue itself. That's like, I could tell that a lot of people really aren't gonna like it because of that specific reason. If you guys aren't really into that heavily focused dialogue type of anime, then this really isn't for you. I mean, I enjoyed this anime, honestly. I really did. I binge watched it in one go, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I can't wait to see more what this anime has to offer from episode 6 to freaking episode 12. I want to know exactly what's gonna go on with the main character and more of his actual past. I want to know how Kushida is actually gonna go about and show her actual true self. And I want to know what Horikita is actually gonna go about. And as she's actually very more timid as the episodes go about and showing her true self. Like I said, though, it's very interesting. Very interesting, folks. But like I said, let me know down in the comments below, guys, as to what are you guys' thoughts on this specific anime. I personally enjoyed, Classroom of the Elite, and I can't wait to see more. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more summer 2017 first impressions. And as always, guys, we'll see you guys again in the next video. But peace out, folks.